Oh, hi. Happy Thursday.
Still masked up.
Welcome to a new episode of Live from Rabs, episode 134, Nazareth.
It's hard to believe, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is hard to believe.
It's funny because last night I was just flipping through my Facebook profile because I really haven't been on Facebook that much. And I was flipping back through, and like that's pretty much all that's on my Facebook feed is all the episodes. So I just flipped it and I stopped on one, and it was the infamous hooky episode.
Hooky episode. So when we first decided that we were going to take weekends off when we were running daily, while we were sadly closed, you can see we're clearly open.
Lots of activity.
A new set change today. We're here live on the lanes. We are sitting on lanes 35 and 36, or 37. Actually, we're sitting on 36.
36 and 37.
Right. Hello, everybody. If you're here, say hello. We've missed you. Last week was Thanksgiving.
It was nice. It was a nice Thanksgiving. Quiet and different, but hey, COVID 2020.
Yeah, we had. I have to say, after some in-family pandemonium, we had a great.
Yeah, I think everybody had a little bit of that going on.
I'm not coming. I'm coming. I'm not coming. I'm gonna come. I'm not coming. I'm coming. I'm not coming. You don't want to come? Don't come.
Everybody's got to make their own choice.
So what we really did have a great Thanksgiving. Nobody yelling at each other. Everybody, our little family that gets together. It was nice.
That's good.
Ate a lot as usual.
Yes. I mean, even though it was just me, Ray, and my mom, I still did the full Thanksgiving thing. So
yeah. So 2 weeks ago we were talking briefly about getting together for Thanksgiving and what it looks like. So now that you had your Thanksgiving dinner, what was the one thing that you looked forward to having, that you had and got to enjoy? So I feel like sometimes we lead up to Thanksgiving preparing and we know we want something, but then it's out and you want to enjoy it and you dig right in. Is there that one thing on the table?
To me, it's the turkey. I'm a turkey fan. I like the turkey.
All right.
What about you?
It's funny that I'm on turkey. Stuffing.
Yeah. Stuffing. I was vacillating back and forth between the
vacillating.
I was going back and forth.
That's a Nazareth word.
But
for sure.
I landed on the turkey. But the turkey and the stuffing.
Turkey and stuff. Yeah, I am a big fan of turkey. Especially fresh carved turkey.
Oh, the best.
And ham. I'm not a big cold cut ham person.
No.
But we had ham and turkey.
No,
and you can't just buy
ham.
You really can't just buy a spiral ham that's this big.
Right.
What's going on?
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. How you guys?
Good to see you.
Welcome to Rabs.
Can't miss it.
Come in the middle right here.
So today's special guest, who has been with us twice live, is now live in person. The one and only Nelson Figueroa.
Hello,
Figgie. So I got to know something. A week and a half ago, you and Naz were talking, and you said it's time to get a bowling ball. Is that what happened here? What's going on?
No, it's time to bowl. I kept saying that when we had a chance to open up again and we were going to bowl, I wanted to come down.
And here he is.
I'm ready.
So we're going in the shop. We're getting a bowl. Jimmy's got a bowl ready for you, I think.
I think he was readying the ball. He's very excited.
He's readying the ball. Is that really?
It's a thing.
Is that a thing?
It's a thing.
We're gonna readying the ball.
It could have been worse, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
So we're gonna get a live look. We're gonna get an inside look at what's happening inside at some point. And then you're gonna bowl right here. And I think Ray's really excited because Ray is. I don't know. We don't. Yeah, I know. We'll wait. We'll wait. But Ray's excited because he's like, all right, we're going to give him some, we're going to show him how to bowl. We're going to show him how to do it. But I think he knows how to bowl already.
Oh, let's go, Ray.
He's an athlete.
All right. So I'll take him in the shop.
You're going to take him in the shop?
And you just chat along.
It's me and you, baby. That's crazy. Nazareth. Crazy.
There we go.
Hi, Janet. So Naz is taking Everything right with the camera? If you remember, if we when we give Naz a live camera, it doesn't really work that well. So I didn't send her in there with a camera at the moment, but we're going to get a live look of what's happening inside as Jimmy's drilling a Figgie bowling ball. I don't know what's happening. I don't know what kind of bowler he is. So to select a bowling ball is a big thing, as you bowlers know. So we'll see. And then Figgie's going to come out and he's going to bowl. I think he brought a friend along today. So they might bowl together.
My son-in-law, Jimmy,
we'll talk a little bit about,
he's going to drill you up.
I do want to ask him about the baseball season. Forget about bowling. The last time he was with us was like pre-postseason baseball. 10 or 12. And now we've got new world champions. So I'm really interested to see what he's thinking, because I don't necessarily know if when he was with us, I don't think he predicted the outcome. So we'll talk a little baseball. We'll talk some bowling. Ray's going to give him some lessons. And when Nazareth decides to come back, because Nazareth, I think she loves Nelson. And so I think she's enamored. I think she thinks he's handsome. I think all of the above. So it's a good thing. Mike, you asked, we are blonde now. We are now bleach blonde as it's growing out. It was pink. The pink is gone. This is, I don't even know what color this is anymore. It was bleach blonde, white, something. But I'm pretty sure I'm going to be stuck with this white blonde hair for quite some time. So we'll see. This is fun. I can't believe she totally just deserted me. And you guys are awfully quiet today. You don't want to talk to me, which is cool. We're gonna go in the pro shop.
Hey, Liz, he's here.
And see what's happening here. So you can get.
So just grab some. A little bit of him talking to Jimmy.
We talked about this a while back.
Drilling the ball.
I'm always fascinated when bowlers or really beginner bowlers walk into a pro shop and they look at the bowling balls on the wall and they're looking at colors. And color sometimes drives the decision, but then price also drives the decision. Because there's the fallacy that, hey, I want the best bowling ball on the market, so that's going to be the best ball that I should get, and that's not always true. And the same thing happens in a golf pro shop, right? You go and you buy new clubs, you want the best out there, but they're not always best for you. So I have no clue what's happening. I think this is actually pretty funny. So I'm going to show you this.
Doesn't everybody do this?
Live
That's the common thing. Everybody does. What do I
mute the microphone?
It doesn't always fit everybody's game. All right, wait. Liz wants to come out and get some shots of you talking
I made fun of Nazareth.
him about the bowling ball.
And you weren't supposed to see this yet, so hi. I gotta flip the camera.
So he's taking him over to the wall now. So.
And we are gonna go to the pro shop.
Thanks, Jimmy.
So if you could see, quick.
Good. It's my daughter Elizabeth.
So there's this conversation happening. I don't know.
You never know.
I actually could probably. Oh, here comes Naz. I almost want to do one of those. I want to talk about. I want to caption it with my voice. What's happening when they're pointing to the wall and talking. So I was just going to come in the pro shop, but I guess I'll wait.
Liz is taking some shots right now.
All right, cool.
So, well, my mic wasn't on, right?
No, I think your mic was on. I actually don't know, which is actually pretty funny. I couldn't hear you.
You couldn't hear me.
I couldn't. If you were, I couldn't hear you.
So,
were you able to hear Nazareth in the shop? So I was just saying, it's funny. All I see is hands waving across the wall, and the conversation, which I go back to a previous episode when we were talking with Jimmy. People have the perception, I'm going to buy a bowling ball based on color. I want the most expensive bowling ball because that's what's best for me. And that's not always the case.
Well, I will tell you, surprisingly,
he's an athlete.
He was very schooled in bowling.
Oh, so your mic was on. Thank you, Lil. So what were you? I can't hear what you were saying inside.
So they were talking about, Jimmy went through his normal. What are you looking for? Do you want something that
I wish I would have realized, because I would have stopped talking and just listened to you guys. But I can't hear you.
And he kind of knew what he wanted. He already has one ball. Seems more like an entry-level ball that doesn't hook, but He definitely wants something that, guess what? It definitely goes long and snaps. What a surprise.
All right. Well, he throws the. Okay. So now, as an athlete, what does he do?
I'm not going to give away any secrets of how he's actually
I'm
going
not
to
talking about bowling. I'm not talking about bowling.
okay.
But as an athlete, what does he do? What did he do for a living?
Oh, yeah. He's an athlete. So he
No. What he pitcher.
Oh, he pitched. He pitched.
So as a pitcher, naturally,
yes.
now a good pitcher can slow the ball down, throw the ball fast, right? You have versatility. The same thing is going to happen here. But naturally, I would imagine as a pitcher, he's going to want to throw. The ball is naturally going to come off the ball, his hand pretty fast. And he's to go something that goes long and snaps.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Because what he has now doesn't really do that. So, he's looking for, as I suspected, something to hook.
Yes. I don't know if he's still watching, but Jason Dean just popped in. Jason Dean.
Jason Dean. Hi, Jason.
How the hell are you? I miss seeing you. I hope you are well.
What a good guy.
One of the best.
He was.
We could always say something bad about someone, right?
It's hard to find. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
And I would expect somebody to do the same thing. Anyway, sorry. I just wanted to say hello. So, all right. So he's ready to roll. So what was the ball he picked out?
I came out before he picked.
All right.
So he was definitely looking for something that, like I said, goes long and hooks and snaps at the end. And Jimmy had a couple of ideas.
That's
for
what
him.
she said.
Right. Exactly. Of course, we joked around a little bit when Jimmy asked him how heavy, and I said he's probably looking for a 10 or 12 pounder. And he was like, "Oh yeah, with my left hand." So
that's great.
So yeah, he's ready. Obviously, he's a bowler. He's talking about where he bowls now, and
we kind of knew that when he was on the show a couple of times. The first time he threw us some curveballs. Well, wait a second.
Right.
He obviously watches the PBA tour.
Right.
And as an athlete, I think that you would watch other sports, especially if you're interested.
Correct.
So I think that's pretty cool. You don't get that often.
So it should be very interesting watching him bowl.
I did say I do want to talk baseball because I want to know his opinions on how the season ended with our new world champions.
Yeah.
Because I don't believe I did. You know what? I should have went back and did some homework and paid attention to what we were talking about.
What we were talking about
his prediction, but I don't believe the Dodgers were his prediction. I know we
a
talked
lot
about them
of
being up
people
there,
picked the Dodgers. I mean, they were almost like a default pick. I mean, they had a strong team. They were the all around team, but that was a little bit of a shocker.
Naz was clean.
I always am.
She did shower. You took your weekly shower today?
I did. I doubled up. I took one yesterday and today.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. So we're sitting here on lane 36 and 37, and we started setting up at the end of the senior men's club. And of course, everybody's asking, "Hey, what's going on? What are you doing? What are you doing?" Because they've been used to seeing us inside Studio 710 across the way here. And as we're setting up, we're letting Melissa know at the front counter, "Hey, don't give out these lanes." So we're in the way, and we kind of feel bad. There's this young man bowling on lane 41 who did not sign up to have anybody around him, let alone talking.
He seems
music.
Not happy with us being.
He might not be, but that's all right. He's throwing the ball. He's two-handed. He doesn't look familiar to me.
No.
But the mask doesn't. He's got a hat.
I can't recognize anybody with the
long hair and a mask. So the mask is tough. But I actually originally said I thought it was Mr. Dobrin bowling. Because they're all pretty nice.
So if you hear the
explicitives,
right,
they might not.
Every once in a while.
We are testing out new equipment again. As Nazareth had a mic, so before Nazareth been in the pro shop, you heard her, which I didn't realize. There's got to be.
I didn't even.
We're gonna find a way that I could hear that. I almost need like an earpiece,
just into this mic.
Yeah, or somehow because through this we can't hear.
Right. Or if you could hear that, the telecast.
Right. Well, then I would have to have the volume up, but then you don't want that because then they would hear the double.
Right. Correct.
So that doesn't work. But we're gonna figure this out.
Sorry.
Yeah, this receiver might actually be this receiver. It's not on, so it must be working, transmitting through the computer. But maybe this can. Oh, I think it does.
It's got a little earpiece.
It does.
Well, there you go.
All right. So we're gonna learn something new. We're gonna figure this out. we're gonna be true professionals. You know, like on the breaking news coming in.
We could actually communicate to each other off camera.
Yeah. Oh no, they can still hear us. They would still. Our mics would still be live. So I do want to know. So Thanksgiving, we've heard some stories from our friends, family, and our customers here at Rabs about how they enjoyed their holiday. But what is the thing that you looked forward to with your family that got together? I did hear that
Thank you.
they did do the
Thank you.
Zooms for Thanksgiving. I did see some of that. Friends and family that couldn't get together did a
Yes.
Zoom. Did you guys partake in any of that? I'm curious. I'm curious to know.
Yeah, some people did things a little bit differently, but yeah, there were some Zooms that were pretty funny.
Yeah.
Liz is texting you the video from.
Awesome. So producer Liz is back, and I almost feel like Guillermo. Liz is out Guillermo. But she won't just. But the problem is Liz won't do anything.
No,
Like Guillermo will do anything.
he would do anything.
He'll do
Yeah,
anything.
Yeah.
Valerie, happy birthday to Valerie, our friend in Ohio. She's saying Merry Christmas. We will see you before Christmas. It's December 3rd.
Another Sag.
Another Sag. That's why her and I get along. We've got a great bond. She's awesome. Fellow Sagittarian. Just saying.
That's right. Frankie's birthday scooted
Was last
past
week.
us.
It did.
It scooted past us. Happy birthday, Frank.
Thank you, Naz. And your birthday.
We don't need to talk about it.
Your birthday is not scooting past us just yet, but it's scooting towards us.
It really feels like it's going to come up and slam me right in the face.
Can you believe, Nazareth? Can you believe? Think about this. 100 episodes ago, we were sitting right here. I'm just throwing it out there. Sure.
Pretty much.
100 days ago, we were sitting just here. And it was dark. There was nothing happening around us. And now it's December 3rd. Holy crap.
Yeah. Yeah. It's been a rocky few months. But I have to say that our customer base here has been phenomenal. They really, really have. They've been understanding and caring about doing things the right way here. And it's just been great. I think everybody's been really, really good. Really,
We're very lucky.
we are lucky.
We're very fortunate.
We're blessed.
Hey, Hillary, happy belated birthday. Quarantine birthdays don't count, especially those. Mine wasn't really a milestone.
Mine isn't either.
Naz is not either. But
I'm over that 60 hump.
you're in between. You haven't, that.
Yeah, I'm just
The next
barely over the
milestone.
60 hump.
You could do the Lori McCullough. Lori has a great mindset when it comes to birthdays. When somebody says to her how old she was, she never goes to the age. If let's say she's 54, she's 50, and she's 50 for 10 years. I'm 50. She's not saying 51, 52, 53.
Could say in my 50s. Or
She just says I'm 50. So you should all test Lori and see what she says. How old are you? I'm not giving it away, but let her do that when you talk to her. So while we're sitting here, Figgie's getting measured in the pro shop. Jennifer, I just turned 40. I'm all in for not counting. Oh, it's only a number.
But you know what? Honestly, I don't think I've had a birthday. I don't think I've had a birthday that really bothered me, like age-wise.
Some people have that.
Some people
I have friends that are like they hit that 40. They hit 40 and it's like whoa. And
I just think it's let's just say maybe 40 was the first number that really kind of makes you reevaluate things. And I've had reevaluations, really, am I where I wanted to be at this time?
Don't we have reevaluations every day?
Yeah, well, that's a different story. That's a different kind of evaluation. But yeah, I can't say I've had one that made me feel bad, like, oh my God. But I just don't think of age. I think it's in your head. This kid is cracking me up.
The good thing is with this microphone, they can't hear him.
Yeah,
with the other microphone, they probably would have picked some of that up. Valerie hit the big 7-0. I just shared that. You typed it, so I shared it. But that's also, those are milestones. And 30 years ago, people said that was old. That's not
anymore.
Not old at all. And we just had this conversation in the bar yesterday with Grandpa Jim, Randy, and Vinny, and we're talking about being in their 70s, and somebody had passed away, and they were, from their perspective, 75, that's not old. And it's not old. It really is not old.
Yeah.
And I look at those three men, I mean, they're not old.
No.
They might be forgetful here and there, or they're falling apart, but they're really not old.
Right. Well, things have changed so much. Actually, I'm reading a book right now. I think the name of it is Being Mortal. And it's just about, and it's written by a surgeon. And he was just talking about how the medical profession has changed in such a way that people don't prepare like for the end of life, because really people live so much longer now and so much more vital. But it's not a depressing book, but it's an interesting take on the medical field.
Queen Flocker was supposed to turn 50 with her flamingos.
With her flamingos.
Oh,
she
Stacey.
was.
Well, you still turned 50, and you got to celebrate a little bit with your friends, but I know it certainly wasn't
the same. Not the same.
So producer Liz just shot over a video, and I gotta see if I can. What happened there?
Is he going to the desk to get shoes? What is he doing?
I don't know.
He might be. I'll just message Melissa.
So the last time we were together, we also talked about the Rockefeller Center Christmas tree, and y'all, I'm gonna bring in my inner Texas. Y'all made fun of that tree. And last night it was lit, and look how majestically beautiful that tree is.
You know what? Maybe it's because of everything that's going on, but I think it looked extra beautiful last night.
It did. It really did. Look at that. Come on. That is New York Christmas tradition like no other. And so last night's show, if anybody got to watch,
it was great.
It was great. And then at 10
o'clock,
the following show was
I watched
the
that too. Yep,
which was pretty cool.
Yeah. I've seen that show. I used to take my kids every year when they were little, and Ray and I went to see it either last year or the year before.
So Liz,
it's definitely special.
I can't save the Facebook. Oh, you know what? I could do it this way.
I couldn't text them. They were too big, and I couldn't email them.
All right, I could do this. I'm gonna
you just move
screen grab. I can do a screen grab. So I have to say that hey Ronnie, we miss you too, Stacey. And it certainly is very different for the kids celebrating a birthday during this time.
Yeah.
We are very fortunate. We are able to run birthday parties. We're doing them behind the lanes, and it's been greatly received. We're even blowing out candles with fans, doing all the things that we can do, but it gives a little normalcy. So if you're looking to have that space, I believe we're probably one of the only places that are able to do birthday parties.
Yeah, and I mean, it's nice. It's spaced out. We kind of put up a little separation to separate them from open bowling. It's a little private area. So, I mean, and it's really nice. It really, the families that have come are thrilled.
Yeah. We're getting ready. So Liz sent me this video. I'm going to show you this video, a little inside look at what happened inside the pro shop. The shirt. I didn't even notice the
He's
shirt
got the
before.
"You Killing Me" small shirt.
My ball's done now.
You ready to roll? So I got to ask you. The last time we spoke, you were on with us. We were talking about the baseball season, and it has now come to a close. We have new world champions. What do you think?
I thought it was very cool. The World Series was awesome. I think seeing Tampa Bay get all the way that far gives hope to small market teams. they've been doing it the right way or a
Yeah.
different way for a
Different.
long time.
Yeah, absolutely.
For a long time, and everybody forgets that they were winning 93 to 95 games a year in that division with a quarter of the payroll.
Yeah.
The Yankees or Boston.
Mm.
So it was good to see them get there in a short season like that. I said that these guys were gonna do some things. During the long season, they tried to do things crazy when they only went with 4 starters and they had
Right.
the opener. During a shortened season, I think they only had 3 starters most of the time.
Yeah, that was, it's so. What's interesting about that team to me is that they've been really successful with the way they work, but the fans just don't believe it.
Florida itself. Miami
Oh, that's right.
Miami
Right.
doesn't get it.
Miami.
The most fans that you've seen, or the most excited you've seen, was the WBC in Miami. People go crazy for baseball then.
Yeah.
But
No,
season, the Miami Marlins fans don't show up. Tampa Bay, same thing. And you would think, most people say there's so many other things to do because it's so nice out and sunny and summertime. They want to see baseball. But yeah, it's crazy that they're having it.
I don't get it. But the Yankee fans show out. When
Yes, Tampa's right there.
So I'll never forget. 10 years ago, we went to a game. We were there for Junior Gold, whatever the year was.
Right.
We drove down, and we were the only Met fans, of course, that had been played. But Yankee fans galore.
Yeah.
And I don't think I saw any Rays outfits. Nothing. And it's a shame because, listen, you think about the transplants that moved down there, and that's and the New Yorkers. We go to the games. You also think about the population too. Of course, we're heavily populated, but I'm disappointed. It's baseball. Now, do they get burnt out because of the preseason?
It's a possibility, but I also think that's another thing is that the price of going to a preseason game compared to the price of
From a regular
$10,
season game.
$15.
Right. So now, I honestly, if you're Tampa Bay, they should give away the tickets.
Right. Just to give people
You
it.
just want to have people in the ballpark.
Right.
It is embarrassing, and you feel bad for those players. But
Right.
That's one of the things I said. In a COVID season where there are no fans, they're used to it. They were used to playing in front of no fans.
That's true.
So do they get the piped in? Do they themselves
they were
hear
two
the
teams that made the playoffs, Miami, because they were used to it.
That is a good thought.
The sound of silence.
Did they get the piped in music noise also? Because that was annoying.
Yeah, that was very different, and just like the virtual fans, you hope you only were able to see that at home because
Right. For the players, it'd be a little.
I said if it was real and it was New York, if Diaz blew a save, he should get booed. If a guy made a bad play, he should get booed. If a guy struck, he should get booed because it's realistic.
Right.
Because otherwise, you don't have that same.
The same. I was just gonna say the same
You want the
energy.
same emotions. You want that same thing because you can't have cheers for a guy struck out with bases loaded.
Right.
I mean, what do they do?
Right.
A little
So on that note, on the Diaz note, he had a decent season this year.
He had a great season. He started off really well.
Right.
And then what I hope he was going to do last year, kick it into gear and really not stay focused on the bad. I never seen anybody with that kind of stuff continually get beat. And every time last year that he gave up a hit, it wasn't a hit, it was a home run.
A home run.
And it was a game-changing home run normally.
Every single time.
So-
Well, a lot of times he was in that situation too.
But that
So
was
he
his
was
role.
exposed to it, right?
That was his role, right, as a closer. And so
Yeah.
you can't hide him. And one of the things that I always say that helped me be a more complete analyst is I didn't just have success in New York, I had failure. I knew what it was like to get booed off the mound. I knew what it was like to have to wake up the next day and read the paper
And see my
name and how bad I did and how everybody hated me. Get to the ballpark and they're all telling me I suck. Same people last night that were loving me.
Oh, right. Now
people telling me I suck.
Right.
And that's something that never happened to him in Seattle.
You never got booed off the mound.
Never happened to him. That never happened to him in Seattle. And so that was something that I had said about Matt Harvey. Matt Harvey was on top of the world, and then all of a sudden, once he started getting
reality
hit, he didn't know how to react to it. He wasn't used to that.
Yeah.
So that's something that I feel my experience can help others because I can sit down and tell him.
Yeah.
I played with some guys. Mike Fetters is a guy I played with who, no exaggeration, we were in Pittsburgh together. He'd walk out and he'd walk out to the bullpen and he'd stand up and he'd go, "Hello, ladies and gentlemen, I'm Mike Fetters, and yes, I suck."
Let's get that out of the way.
Thank you very much. I'll be here all night. And they're like, "Love you, Mike." home team, visiting team. He would do it every time, and people
Funny.
would laugh, and then
Right.
that was it. The tension was broken.
Well, I was just going to say, relieves the
tension was
tension.
broken, and then the fans were like, "Okay, this is a real guy." You know what I mean?
Right.
Because they mostly see you. You're not a human being. They see you as you're a machine. You're
Right.
supposed to
This
get
is what you're
everybody out.
supposed to do.
And
Right.
so once he would do that, and everybody would be like, "Man, this guy's pretty cool," and then they would root for him no matter what.
Right.
So that was something.
Right.
that
So
I-
he kind of made himself an underdog
Always.
to try to get people to root for him.
Always, and that works for me.
Obviously,
Yeah.
our friend Rob Butler has a different thought on that one.
Yeah.
Hillary, a good thing Rob's at work. He can't speak.
Yeah,
But
because
he
they did post, SNY posted today the 7th, 8th, and 9th inning pitchers for the Mets.
Right.
And they were asking people to comment, and Mr. Butler had some choice things to say about Diaz.
It should be exciting. New ownership,
Listen, I'm
willing to make the investment in the team,
yeah.
and true fans. I mean, I've been following him on Twitter and Facebook. I mean,
Yeah.
the photos are incredible.
Yeah.
He's really, and I'm happy. I hope that spirit comes from the top.
Well,
from the
and
top down.
to me, if you look at organizations, and not just sports organizations, but businesses, I think that that stuff does come from the top down. Enthusiasm and positivity and all good things, they come from the top. So
humanizing even ownership.
Yep. Right.
Normally, let's put it this way. I love the Wilpons. The Wilpons are great to me.
Right.
It was like Scrooge McDuck. That's how everybody saw him.
Oh,
Everybody saw him
absolutely.
no matter what, swimming in his vault of money and not really caring.
Correct.
Meanwhile, if you knew him or if you ever spoke with him, he
Right.
would tell you how disappointed he was that
Right.
the team was failing.
Right.
He would tell you how disappointed he was in certain players not performing. He
Right.
would tell you how much it hurts him that the team isn't as good as it could be. And he
Right.
wanted to do the things that it took to make the team better.
Right.
And so sometimes you try to follow the guidance of whoever's in charge. And
Correct.
but
Right.
there were at times in the Mets organization there were a lot of chefs in the kitchen, and it never. Listen, they invested money. It never worked out.
Yeah.
I mean, there was one guy.
Oh yeah, they did. I believe they
Carlos
did.
Beltran is the only one that got a long-term deal.
Right.
That worked out where he played and deserved every penny. That
Except that one game
I-
that sticks in every
I
fan's
still blame
head.
Donald Trump for that. I blame Donald Trump. He was watching. But yes, of course, you can never remember that. But other than that,
Oh
he
yeah,
put up phenomenal numbers.
he absolutely
He
did.
did so well for this team. Delgado was another guy who
Oh, I
lasted
will.
until he
Yes.
was injured.
Yeah.
But Santana didn't play out the rest of his contract. so
Right.
you can't. That was incomplete.
Oh,
Jason Bay had the struggles with the concussion.
That was
That's-
crazy.
So you have all these.
So excited to get him.
Cespedes. So Cespedes, everyone would say 2015, he was the best slugging outfielder in the game at the time. Cespedes was one of the top 5 guys, right? The
Absolutely.
Mets go and sign him. They signed him to the 1-year deal and said, listen, we'll extend it. They extended it for another 3 years. And no one gave them credit for that because why? He wasn't on the field for 2 out of the 3 years.
Yeah.
Is that their fault?
No.
They tried.
Yeah.
They tried to keep that core together.
Absolutely.
They tried to have him on the field.
Right.
And even this year, I said if he could be on the field and give you half the time,
Right.
so 30 games worth of his offensive production in a DH role,
Because when he did play, he was
he was a special player.
yeah. He
but
was one of those guys like that was Strawberry. Like every time he came up to bat,
he could
everybody
take it.
stopped what
Yeah.
they were doing.
Oh, yeah. He's a game
He's a guy that you're
You
definitely
wanna
watching
watch.
that
Yep,
at bat.
You're excited to.
Yeah.
He's a game changer. And they went out and they signed, and that didn't work out.
Yeah.
How's that? That's when you understand why there's a little bit of pause when it comes to handing out those big dollars. Because what we've seen is that those big dollars are normally given out to those guys 32, 34 years old
Right.
that are maybe peaked, but they're going to be on the decline.
Down,
Next,
right,
So that's where
downside.
the Mets are getting guys at 34 and giving them big bucks. And, right where you think, oh, well, yeah, can he continue to do this? No player does.
Right.
No player, unless you're Barry Bonds, and that's a whole other topic.
And then and then you're taking somebody that played somewhere else and you're putting them in New York,
Yes.
where
It's
I mean,
different.
you're
It's different.
under
It's
the
different.
spotlight
It's different.
every at bat,
There's no-
every pitch,
There's
and
nothing like it. And even guys that, have played for one side to the other, there's a big difference with players in the Bronx and playing in Queens.
Yeah.
There is. It's just a big difference. And so a guy like Cano, and here he goes again, got caught juicing again, which I can't understand.
Not once.
Look,
Don't you learn a lesson?
Listen, Mejia was on this team, and he didn't learn a lesson 3 times
Right.
in 1 year.
Right.
Three times in 1 year he got
Yeah.
out. So it's, I don't know what it is. I know there's always been an issue with it in the Dominican Republic because they use trainers. Trainers put together these supplements. They do all.
A lot of times
they
don't even guys don't even know. They
don't
just
know.
they just take it.
They're getting an injectable. They say it's a cocktail. It's a mixture. It's a anti-inflammatory with
And it's going to do this for you.
a
Right.
B12 vitamin, and
Right,
you've
so
been taking it for years. And so, what is the trainer paid for? Performance.
Right.
So if this guy all of a sudden has a great year, he's going to get a bigger tip. This guy has a great, you know what I mean? He feels great. He's going to work
Yeah,
out.
so almost like they're
And
right.
then all of a
But he
sudden-
already got his money.
Yeah, but you're thinking, oh, well, he's not going to get. He's not going to get tested. Why would he get tested? Oh, well, there he goes. He
Yeah.
got tested. And it's happened. It's happened with a bunch of the guys
Yeah.
in the Dominican Republic, and that's one of the things. You can't place blind faith. And when it comes to things like that, you have to know everything that you're putting in your body. And
Yeah.
that's where the Players Association has been talking to those guys relentlessly to try and get them to understand.
Yeah.
Don't just drink anything. Don't just take anything.
Right. You got to take some personal
You have to,
responsibility.
because it comes back to you.
Yeah.
Yes,
Right.
man.
Right.
So, all right, what did you drill up? Now, Jimmy drilled up some magic. So what kind of magic did he drill up for you today?
We shall see. Jimmy gave me a ball. He said that it has some length, a nice snap at the end, so a good hooking ball. We'll see, because I feel like the first 2 I'm going to throw are going to be in the gutter.
All right. So we want to.
Oh, wait. Hammer statement, the only ball I use.
Oh, that's good to know.
Watch it
Yeah.
out.
Hey! We're gonna. We'll make sure we have to share this with our friends at Hammer. And if I don't know if Jason's watching anymore, but Jason, you're watching. You heard that? That is a brand now of Brunswick.
Brunswick,
So
they
we
got
have
it
some- We
all.
have some friends. It's good to
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
Which bowl did you actually? Do you know?
Bring it over.
Hammer statement, yeah.
Oh, the Howard
Bring
Statement.
it over.
This is the
Let's-
Howard Statement. Okay. It's not one of those smelly bowling balls.
No storm. No storm today.
And she's a beauty.
Oh, yeah. So we got a little bit of blue and orange.
Oh, we
Little bit of
didn't
that.
even think. And Frankie, what were you talking about at the
I
beginning?
was talking when Naz was in with you, which they were able to hear what she was saying, what you guys were saying. I couldn't. So I wish I knew because I just kept talking. But it was one of those things where people walk into any approach, golf, bowling, and I want the best on the market. I want this, I want that. Oh, if that bowl's $300, I gotta have it because that's gonna be best. And that's not necessarily true. I
Not
need
at
what's
all.
best for my
Yeah,
game.
right.
Or then we have folks like my mom will buy
They
a
just
bowling
want by
ball
color.
and shoes all because of color. And everything has to match. And some of you out there, men and women, do the same.
It's like picking teams when you the office pool for NFL. My mom would come home and she goes, "Which animal would kill the other animal?"
Oh, well, there
I
you
like
go.
that one.
That's a
how she would
different.
do it. And then, of course, there was always somebody who would buy the prettier colors, who had the nicer colors.
Right.
And then, of course, here I am trying to figure it all out. And
Right.
I get it wrong.
Right, right. They win.
Think about going to
Being
the,
an analyst isn't always what it's
Not always.
no, of course not. But think about going to the horse track. And
Yes.
if you don't know anything about betting, I like the gray
The
horse.
colors,
You got
right?
to bet the 5 horse and the 7
He's got the
race.
cool name.
Yeah, the
This
cool
guy
name.
can't be a loser. He's got a cool name.
Harry.
Alpha.
We got to go. We got to bet.
Right.
him.
Yeah. Yep.
It's so true. We do it all the time. And I'd love to bet the ponies.
Yeah. We like
I
going
do the
to
same
the
thing.
racetrack.
Anybody says they
Hashtag
love
Hammer
to bet the
Bowling.
ponies.
Yeah. He's got that slang down.
So Danny,
Yes.
our hammer rep here.
He is our hammer
Tag
guy.
Vodka. So all right. So go ahead. Go warm up.
Uh-oh.
Go check it out. In the meantime, here's this video. I don't know, Liz. So Liz sent me this video, and she's got
I
an.
don't want you on film wearing those. Oh, stop it.
I can get him a pair of shoes. What size shoes does he take?
And it
Oh,
wasn't
okay.
It wasn't a gutter. So Liz has an Android phone, which everybody says takes great video and photo, but when you send them, they're awful. So here's.
This one feels good. This one is a little.
So I can't even play the whole video because it's god awful. But I'm gonna go. We'll get the. I was able to save the video. I'll be able to save it and then put it together.
Okay.
You're done. That's it. You threw a strike and that was it.
Keep
like the
those.
shoes?
Those
The
are
shoes are
working
good.
well.
He says he's done. I'm like,
So, but that's not true. You don't know. You never know. You have your own shoes though.
Well, what he's doing is he's showing it doesn't matter. He could throw. He could throw strikes either way.
Through Brooklyn, it did have to pay the toll. I like that one.
Oh well, the two-way toll now.
Do you have battery on your phone?
I have battery on my phone.
You want to try and go this way? And
How do you want me to do it?
I said you have the link, right? Get in.
Go
Yeah,
get the
go
link.
to the link. Hey, do you know what that bowl goes for? I have a question that's
I don't.
Christine will get the answer to your question.
I can definitely find out for you.
Unless Danny knows, if Danny's watching.
Danny will probably.
Oh, he's even wait.
I said he
So
brought
you
his
said
bowling
you brought
coach.
a friend today. We should introduce your friend today. Your bowling coach. Yeah.
I can't find the link.
It's in your text message
I'm looking at my text messages.
from me. I didn't text you anything else. Did you delete it?
I don't think so. You know what? I'll just look in my.
Sent it to you about 20 minutes ago.
Oh, here it is. I got it.
So now, one, we don't condone the no mask and bowling, but we are.
I don't have a spare ball. I can't get it on that side yet. I'm learning.
Oh, you can. Oh, see now, where's Ray?
Where's Ray?
Get started. I'm sorry. I have to put my email and stuff in, right?
No, you shouldn't have to do anything like that. You know what? Let me send you a new link.
Okay.
I'll send you a different link. I might have sent you the wrong one, so that might be on me. All right.
All right.
So Figgie is testing out his new bowl. How does it feel? Obviously, it must feel good.
It's pretty good. I gotta be better.
Jimmy did a good job. Fits well.
Entering the broadcast studio.
Here, everywhere else, seeing how the real old
So Nelson, we got a fresh lane here. Nobody bowled on this lane this morning.
see that plain line.
So where do you bowl at home?
Not at home. I bowl down in he's crazy. Comes all the way down to Utah. Down at Slocum. Slocum's Bar and Grill in New Jersey.
All right, yeah.
12 lane house. Good food. Even better beer.
Oh boy.
It's my husband, Ray.
That's not the first time you've thrown a ball like
Yeah.
that. Really? Is this bowling? What are you doing?
How you doing, Ray?
You should be able to hear Naz and Ray.
My kid's doing baseball. I'm not doing that. They're doing white.
How do I?
Good. That's perfect.
Oh. So Hillary, this is this bowling ball is quite old. Yes, it is a little. It's actually not old. It's on display in the podium, signed by the one and only Staten Island Bill and John. So John was here for an event, and we'd asked him to sign it.
That was that one.
Do you want to do anything else? Yes. Well, sign is great too. He's learning.
What did you get? What's the pattern?
It's almost like an upside down page. So if you don't hook the ball out, you know when you get the ball where you put, if you want to straight up the first down, you probably wouldn't make the pitch.
So now we're getting lessons, as you can see. Naz, you should be able to press camera and flip it.
I'm trying to turn it around.
You don't need to. You flip the camera. I'll show you. So I like this.
How do I turn it around? It's the same thing I tried.
Camera. Back camera.
There you go.
And then do it this way.
Do it the long one.
Yeah. Just lower the volume on this. So it'll pick that up.
There you go.
Oh! Ray. They're up 8. They're up 8. They're up 8. So inside look. We got to work on those spares on the right side of the lane.
Right.
Even more. Yes. Yep. I had that one there. The only problem is no thumb hole. Not only the thumb hole.
So he doesn't use thumb hole. He doesn't have a weight hole, does he?
Yeah, it is possible, but I have no thumb hole.
So we
It is
can
vintage memory. I walked away from the microphone. I apologize. So it is vintage. It's got John Franco's signature on it. It is not drilled. Pretty cool, but it is a little faded. So Naz, we have two coaches helping him out here. From your perspective, what's happening back there?
There's a lot of talking, and basically telling them the same thing. They're basically saying the same thing.
Ooh.
Oh, got tapped. Got the friendly tap. You know, for a pitcher, he's not a bad bowler.
No, well, we were talking about that before. You know, you never know. An athlete's an athlete, but as a pitcher, you would expect throwing the ball hard. But But somebody with versatility should have no problem.
All right, so a draft league. I have a sub for Monday night.
What does he come in with?
Yeah. Well, I don't know. We're gonna have to. I might have to re-rate.
Well, then we should turn the video off. Oh. The carry any different than what you're used to? Yes, I love it.
There you go. There you go.
Wow, close.
Good try.
That's great.
All right.
Yeah, 3 strikes and 9 out.
You gotta tell Mel to put the score
9.
on. Yeah.
Yeah, I got it.
He's got it.
Okay.
Thank you. Yeah.
Oh.
30 minutes to do what? To beat you? Go get your shoes on.
He's saying I'm gonna bowl 180.
Okay.
I told him to bowl more. He's got 20 bucks that says I'm 180.
Oh, okay.
Hey, what's your high game? What's your high game?
Mine? 292.
292.
You heard the 292. How'd that happen?
How did 2 happen?
Started out with I had the last one.
Oh,
No,
no,
the
we
298.
know that. We know how you get there.
It wasn't 2 last one.
It wasn't 2 on the last one.
292.
292.
Were you a little nervous? Did you get booed off the lane that day?
2 weeks ago, I had a nice year. 2 weeks ago, not 7:40
Okay.
All right.
I'm gonna put your name in.
I need a name?
Yeah, I'm not gonna keep score.
I have all this.
All right, we have requests for you to sub tonight. Yeah, I don't know if I would admit to a 292 either, Ken. Oh, there you go. So now we're keeping score, and there's a bet on the table. 180, 180?
Right above there.
That's 180.
Want to get a little closer?
No, that's good. That's good because I want to be able to see him back here and then what he knocks down.
All right, take your time, take your time. But they could see you sneaking in like that. So
No,
there's
it's
a
fine. I
difference.
wanted to see how the camera angle.
Oh, he's
looks.
good. He's good. I'd give him the fancy tool, but I don't want to. I don't want to.
No.
Yeah,
That's good. I wouldn't admit to a 292. Well, Bob Cloak and I used to have a little joke with the 293.
Yeah, how many times have we said that already? Only.
Oh.
Now you got chopping wood now, Ray.
Oh, he's got a. I mean, this is easy. This is very makeable.
Don't be you, Ray.
Good guy with
I
his
actually
style.
made that on Tuesday night.
Did you?
The other way around. It was the other way around.
Oh, see, I told you. In the no tap this past weekend, I made the 4-9 and the 5-7. It's bad enough that it left him,
I was gonna say,
and then I
about
left the 4-9
5-7.
twice. So then the pressure was on to have to make it again,
Of course.
which was, I have to say, was a fun time as always. We're hoping to get some final results later today or tomorrow.
Yep.
We'll post them.
We'll
So
post
thank
them.
you for those that bowled in our annual tradition, our Thanksgiving leftovers no tap adult child tournament. A little different this year, but
these two.
well, they could hear you, so
That's fine.
we're used to. Naz, I have to say, we're used to being able to converse without anybody hearing us, but now they really can't hear us.
Yeah, we might have to shut these off.
Forward on the right, that's the break point marker. No, you want to go to that.
So Ray
Check out, Ray. Good job.
he's good. Get inside scoop.
Very good, very good.
They don't need to be better, Jen. It's a fun time.
Here's the key word to
And
this.
handicap.
Handicap,
Oh,
no
boy.
tap, and three strikes. So 3-6-9, and we dropped the low game. It is a fun time. So next year we
I
got
feel like I have to get my bowling shoes.
Get your shoes.
I only need one. One.
Only need one shoe.
Ball.
Oh. Not many people would admit to that. Oh. Yes, I'll tell you. Oh,
Back.
oh, nice shot.
Oh.
What kind of place is this?
I don't know.
He's got free pins. He's got free pins.
I hate when that happens.
Well, there's a bad pin in there, obviously.
Yeah, obviously. It fell right over.
I'm going to use that for my 10 next time.
Emma doesn't keep it on the lane enough. All right, we got to work on that.
We got to take that 3 out of there. 1 second.
We gotta work.
And we want the score to be right. You got it? No. Want to get the score out. Yeah. Change score.
Naz wants to make sure your score is right. That 3 count is of no help
Good. He's on the first ball.
on a spare, right? That was on a spare?
I need a recount. It's not even short.
No, he's on a strike. He's
Oh,
on
okay.
a strike.
Oh,
We took it out. Relax.
I like so.
Not the pins, the break point marker. There you go.
So
We got to be careful. There's a goal here. He's got to hit 180.
yeah, that's probably not good.
Oh, I can't see it. It's over. So
This is true too.
four.
It's very
Okay.
common for people that are longer. You throw your spare ball, then you throw your first ball.
82
Head pin
with
and
the
the three
six.
pin, that's when you go for his first.
Spare up in his
spare. All right, go ahead.
Naz, it's like old times. Ray's out here today. We had producer Liz involved.
Yeah.
Red is now watching. And we're in our old spot. Yeah.
There you
Nice
go.
shot. Inside commentary from Ray Larson in the background. Hi, Ro. So we're live here with the one and only former Met, Nelson Figueroa. He drilled up a bowling ball today with Jimmy. Throwing it nicely.
Not bad.
Did not have to take that and go back in the shop for adjustment.
Nothing.
Feels good.
Well, I will tell you,
You always need something. You always
he's got
need
no
something.
thumb, so
Oh, it's much
that
easier
makes
with no
things a
thumb.
little bit easier.
Yeah, it certainly is easier with no thumb. That's usually the pain spot. The dreaded 5-pin. Now, the key is you can't miss the 5-pin. Just don't miss it. Just don't miss it. You got it. You know what it said? How many times have you Oh, no, you didn't show everybody around the drink. How many times will you admittedly say you've missed the 5-pin?
What, in my life?
Yeah, in your bowling career.
I've missed it plenty. It's such a, as I became a better bowler, I missed it a lot less.
Hillary, you two have a great day. Enjoy the rest of the work
Thanks for
meeting. I'm so
joining us,
sorry that you have
Hillary.
to go back to work. We do too have to go to work.
Oh, there's that feedback noise again.
I was unmuting
How did that
Ray's
happen?
microphone so that we could hear the inside.
You muted it?
But no, he's muted. We're not.
Oh.
So Naz, what
So strategies being
strategies happening?
right. This is a typical.
Oh, that's all right. So we're good. So Thursday, next Thursday, we're back at it. December 10th. Man, it's December.
It's December, Frank.
December. So we're going to continue coming back to you live every Thursday, 12 noon. Next Thursday, we're back here. You never know what's going to happen. You had a special guest lined up, so we have to.
One of my favorites.
But we need to confirm, so we're not sure.
We're
We're working on it.
Yes.
For the next couple of weeks, we've got some good guests lined up.
We will tease during the week
Once it's confirmed. Well, we didn't. Nazareth, I have to say, can you tell them the message you got last week from Nelson? Last Thursday.
On Thursday.
Or Wednesday night.
No, it was Thanksgiving
morning.
Yes, Thanksgiving morning. Hey, are we on?
So he was
Dude.
expecting to come next week.
He
last
was.
week.
Yeah, he was expecting we were gonna be here on Thanksgiving, which there was no shot in the world that was happening.
Hey, it is what it is.
It is what it is. But at least he was on top of it. He was.
Check it out.
Oh, he's
Style.
even got the. He's even.
We were
he's even
just
got the
talking
dancing.
about how you thought we were going to be on with us last Thursday.
I know. You guys are having a Thanksgiving Day festival out here now.
Hey, it is a beautiful day outside. Not as windy as it was last couple
Yes,
days.
it's a little bit nicer today.
The wind and the weather have dampened some of our plans. Our Christmas trees might go up today. Hopefully it
Oh.
goes up today. So stay tuned. So as we start the
There it
holiday
is.
season here, last night, New York holiday season has officially started.
How do you like that tree?
It's beautiful.
It's beautiful.
Much better than it was a week ago.
It's not the same tree.
It is the same
They might
tree.
fill it.
I think they always fill it though.
They might. I don't know. Well, you have to remember, what we saw, it was still tied up.
Yeah.
They didn't get to
It hadn't had a chance to open up fully.
right. It was wrapped up for a few hours.
Yeah, yeah.
Think about it. It gets pulled up.
And it's
Laying
laying
down.
on its side for hours, days.
That's right. No dancing or we get shut down. We're living in footloose times. But in the meantime, hey, this has been fun. Nelson's going to keep bowling. We're going to get some video. And you just never know what's going to happen here on Live from Rams. So next week, we're back here at 12 noon.
12 noon.
And you never know. Hopefully, we stay where we're at. Things are, we don't know.
We don't know.
You
We'd
guys
like to
keep
stay
asking.
in the yellow.
We
And
want to. If we
everybody-
stay in the yellow, we're open and we're good. If we happen, for some reason, if we happen to move into orange, which I hate to put that in universe, but
Yeah.
answering the questions that we get,
Right.
we remain open
the big
for bowling,
question.
just no indoor dining. As there's no indoor dining in the rest of the Staten Island, except for the North Shore, Western North Shore, that's in yellow. So stay tuned. We'll keep you up to date here on our Facebook page, on our website. bowlatrabs.com/blog. There's links on the front page with all the information.
It's all there, people.
We don't know anything. We get it at the same time you get it.
Yep.
So please be patient. We're hoping to stay where we're at.
Or go
Or go
in
back
the other
go back to
direction.
white zone.
We would like that.
We certainly would. So in the meantime, stay healthy, stay safe.
Yeah.
Wear your damn
Wear your
mask.
masks, please. Please wear your
We've been
mask.
saying it, whether we like to or not. It's just,
Nobody really likes the mask, I don't think. I told Frankie today that I feel like I'm going to start greeting people by
I got the spare.
nodding the head.
by bowing. I want to show respect.
Naza-san.
Nailed the
Ah,
spare,
Frankie-san.
Oh.
But you know, you want it. It's just difficult and awkward sometimes.
It
But-
is. It is awkward, and you can't see people's smiles
Where we
unless
at?
they're smiling and you see their
yes,
eyes.
right.
Hey Nelson, we're gonna sign off.
No.
He doesn't want us to. Christine, we are in the yellow zone. Nothing's changed. Yellow cluster zone. Oh, 2 frames. So score update then.
Score update. He's got 153 in the 8th.
Pins are made of metal.
153 the 8th.
Great steel out here.
Assuming a spare in the 9th.
Yeah. Oh!
Commentators can't be so close to the player.
Oh, here we go.
Drop thing.
Assuming he makes the spare, then
Well, now for his 180,
You know what happens when you assume?
he definitely needs a mark.
You know what happens when you assume?
Yes, I know.
Hi, Pat. We miss seeing you two, and we will certainly let Annie Imperato know. Annie's an
There
avid
it
Mets
is.
fan.
That's right. 180.
Jen,
Well,
I have
you
to
need
say,
8
the
pins.
sweat when you get warm and you've got the mask on, it's not fun. I totally get it. I have to say that the mask that I've been wearing has been great.
Yeah,
I like
you
that
know,
Tommy
it's
Copper
playing with
mask. It
different
doesn't
masks
really-
too.
It
Yeah,
comes up so it doesn't fog. So we need a mark, right?
he got it
Oh,
already.
we got
He
it.
threw the
I'm not
strike.
paying attention. We're talking.
He's
So,
got it.
so
Well,
Commentators talking in my
he
back,
needs.
one,
he
get out of
needs,
here.
He needs. Yeah, 2 pins.
180 on the button. We don't want to get accused. Can't hit the dead wood.
Ah, 182.
That's right.
It only took him 2 games. So now.
One's a warm up.
Oh,
One's a warm up.
that's-
We'll give him
yeah.
that. We'll give him that.
What excuses? Did you have those excuses when you were on the mounds?
What do you want? It shut it off? Yeah, I got you.
Yeah. There you go.
You got it.
Cool.
Thank you. Thanks for doing that.
You know what that reminds me of? Ed.
Easy, I like that.
Oh, he's enjoying himself. Naz, he's
No,
calling you out.
I don't want to make you feel bad. I want you to enjoy your time here.
All right. Well, that was fun.
It was fun.
Or as Naz would say, that was awesome.
It was awesome. It was awesome.
We're going to sign off. Hey, Nelson, any last words for our fans?
Would you like to say? Oh, now he's with ease.
No, we didn't say you couldn't.
I didn't say
I
that.
wouldn't. I heard what you said.
I didn't say
I
that.
said
No,
nothing
lies.
of the sort.
Lies.
Lies. Thank you.
Well,
Frank.
thanks for dropping in today. I mean, we're not kicking you out, but we're going to sign off. We've been here long enough. We're hoping everybody that comes in, if you're watching, if you've caught us later in the day, which most of you do, we missed you today, and we'll see you next Thursday.
Next Thursday, I'll be. No, I'm kidding. Where Nelson tries out 2 new balls.
So you like the ball?
Yes, thank you guys. Thank Jimmy.
Our pleasure.
Good seeing you.
Our pleasure to have you.
And we will see you soon.
Be around. We'll be around. We'll have to have a New Year's special.
Yes.
You wanted me to come out on Turkey Day?
Well, you totally misunderstood that conversation.
All I saw was Thursday.
Totally.
And I'm like,
Right.
I can sneak away for an hour.
We have our masks. It's very difficult to sit here and wear our masks while you're trying to listen to us. So our masks go on after,
Right.
before and after.
Where are your masks? Thanks, Beatrice. We got them all over here. Don't worry. This is more than 6 feet, I promise you.
So, prediction for the Mets this season.
Oh,
I have to ask.
Listen, I like their offense did really well all the way around last year. Some guys teetered out towards the end.
Right.
Conforto couldn't carry the whole year the way he started out. McNeil had turned it on and then petered out a little bit as well. He had some injury.
Right.
Remember, it was a Toronto game that he had to go up through the stands.
Oh, yeah.
Of course, Alonso hit 16 home runs, but wasn't the same batter. He was pressing all the time.
Yeah.
So that pressure of that sophomore year got to him.
It's tough. That's tough.
But I think they have a nice. There's 6 guys in that lineup that I like a lot. Young core. Who knows if they're going to be here?
Correct. Yeah.
Preface it with what they have now.
Right.
I like the steps they took last year.
Right.
Again, in a shortened season like that and COVID and everything else, they came up short, but at the same time, I think they learned a lot.
Yeah.
Focusing on each and every at bat. That's something that had to be a plus with the circumstances. With the
It was going everything
up. Crowd noise,
yeah.
So there's a lot more focus involved. So I think some of them will learn from that. The pitching side, Jacob deGrom is still unbelievable.
Still Jacob deGrom.
You got Stroman back, and hopefully a year off is only going to make him better.
Yeah.
Syndergaard back at some point. He's already been throwing off the mound, which is phenomenal.
That's good. That's good.
Mats is still that X factor that you don't know what you can get. For 7 games, he's great.
And then same
so he's still that guy. I know they're going to keep him because he's left-handed and young, and you have to keep him. The bullpen, they made a nice addition.
Yeah.
He's a nice addition.
Yeah, I think so too.
I go back and I always say with a little trepidation because with relievers, Diaz was a great when he had 57 saves, and then in the next year
he was
bad.
Awful.
But relievers are like that; it's volatile. But I think May has figured out some things. The strikeout numbers have jumped up.
Right.
We saw that with Swarzak though as well. Remember, Swarzak went from being DFA'd by the Yankees, figured something out, and
then all of a sudden
then he came to New York and he couldn't hack it.
Yeah.
So I have a little bit of trepidation with that, but I think they have so many other weapons in the back with still Familia, Diaz. Wilson it was 2 years and an option, I believe, right? So he's back. So Wilson's back.
Yeah.
They're covered with Wilson. I think Lugo goes back to the pen.
Yeah, that's what they. Yeah, that's what
Lugo
they're
goes
saying.
back to the pen. I think he's such a nice. He's the Swiss Army pitcher.
He's so good.
He can do anything.
So good
I
to
like
have.
him in short bursts against 6 guys in the lineup, not having to go around the lineup a few times.
Yeah.
He's proven that he's been a lot better as a reliever. So having him. So that back into the bullpen, and Betances is back, healthy. He was throwing harder at the end of the season after resting again. It's not easy. It's not easy to turn it on, turn it off, turn it back on, and especially coming off an injury.
Yeah.
Trying to throw harder doesn't have the best results. Trying to
Yeah.
throw harder just doesn't. And
Yeah.
everybody's been just saying, if you only threw harder, why aren't you throwing so hard? He's trying
Yeah.
to throw hard. The
He's
ball's
got to
straightening
learn
out.
how to pitch.
And I think he learned from that situation last year to kind of just hopefully relax and let the ball go. And if he's healthy, and again, you're looking at 5 guys right there that I like against anybody.
So what do
Stay
you
healthy.
think about
Staying healthy is the key.
What do you
We-
think
we-
about the loss of Cano defensively is going to do for them?
You know,
He's
McNeil
good.
doesn't play a bad second base at all.
No, I
McNeil
don't think so either.
He's had
No.
really good range. And plus, defense isn't so much what it used to be because of the shifts. The Mets shifted more than ever last year.
Yeah.
So that's something that with a shift, and I said that when they didn't re-sign Daniel Murphy. They always said, oh, his defense is good. I said, what does it matter if you're going to put him in one spot
Right.
and have him play that spot with 2 other guys around him? Then he can
Right.
be
With
really good.
difference. Right.
So with the shift, defense is doesn't mean anything. Turning a double play, sure, Robbie's one of the best in the game at doing that. But you talk, the complaint is he's 38, he looks lazy, but you know anything hit towards him, he's going to catch it.
He's gonna catch
He's
it.
going to catch it. And
Yeah.
he makes some of the spectacular plays, but what he does is the routine plays look routine. He does that all the time. I like the shortstop competition for now. Unless
Yeah.
they trade one of them.
Right.
I like what they have from both of those guys.
I
Young
do
energy is never
too.
a bad thing. Young
Yeah.
energy is not a bad thing. Competition is never a bad thing. So I think Rosario hopefully sees it's not the error of his
The
ways.
little nipping at his heels.
He's got to realize that. Look at what Dom Smith did. Dom Smith's job was blown off out of the water.
Crazy.
When he hit 53
Crazy.
home runs.
So happy for
And then
him.
Dom turns it around. So
Yeah.
if Dom can keep up 80% of what he did last year, I'd be happy.
Yeah.
And Pete had a normal season where he's batting more in that 260 range rather
Right.
than 210.
Yeah. I mean, you could see and every at bat he was
Yeah, he's
pressing.
pressing big time. But I think they could put it all together, and they're going to be. Listen, the National League East to me is the toughest division because you have 4 teams that were rock and sock and robots the whole time, and then you had, of course, the Marlins who weren't supposed to do anything.
Right.
In a
Surprising.
60-game season, they got hot,
Yep.
stayed
Yeah.
hot, and really they played above where they were, and they
Sure.
knew that.
Right.
But at the same time, that's what baseball is, right? You get a team in August that gets hot.
Especially
run
in
the
a
table.
season like that.
Yeah.
That's all it takes.
Oh,
Right. When you have a lot of games, right, it stretches out. So in this short season,
It's a
Yeah.
sprint.
right.
It's a sprint, and you never know. You just never know because they came out to shoot what they win the first 8 out of 9,
Yep.
and then they had downtime because of COVID, and then they had to play all those games in a row. And you tip your cap because they did it. You have to be able to perform. You have to be able to do it. There was nobody that sat back and said, "Oh man, these Marlins are for real."
Yeah.
I mean, quite honestly. So I think it was good to see them jump up, and that just shows you how tough that division is. The Mets went from second place to 5th in a week.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah.
In a week. So it's a very,
Yeah.
very tough division. So I think that's the way we're looking at it. If they can the closer they can get to 90 wins, the better.
Yeah.
And I think they have the players to do that.
Yeah. All right. So for our Yankee fans, I'm going to ask, what do you think about the Yankees this year?
I would love to say they have to play with a chip on their shoulder because they keep it like the regular season means nothing to them.
Yeah.
It's literally batting practice for them the whole season
Yeah.
because they're so deep. They do so many things well. If they lose Lemehu, DJ, if they lose him, that's a big piece. I don't think people realize it. When everybody else was hurt, he carried that team. And he's such a complete hitter because he's not just a swing for the fences guy. Hits the ball the other way better than anybody in the game.
Yeah.
And played solid defense wherever they put him, right? So when you have a ton of home run hitters who hit a ton of home runs in that small ballpark, yes, they put up runs like crazy. It always comes down to pitching. It always comes down to having, and they had, the back end. Chapman is continuing to regress. He doesn't. There's no one that reveres Chapman anymore.
Right.
Which is crazy that he's throwing only 98.
Right.
And guys are making it look like it's wiffle ball.
Right.
So to me, that's where the Yankees. What are they going to do for pitching? Because they lost starters as well. They lost a lot of starting pitching. So what are they going to do? They've been going on the conservative side with spending, other than Garrett Cole, who.
Yeah, I was going to say they gave Cole a lot of money.
That's a corner piece. So that's
Yeah.
They gave Kevin Brown a lot of money, and
That didn't work
out.
out.
But they went out there and they did the best move for the best young starting pitcher at the time. And he pitched his butt off. And you got to give him credit because playing in the big market of New York City, a lot of guys can handle that pressure. He seemed to step up every time, so that was good to see. I think the Yankees again, top 2 in the division. Tampa Bay. You keep saying, "Oh well, can Tampa Bay do it again?" They do it every year.
Every year.
They do it every year. So there's going to be one year where I think at the deadline they're going to go for it and maybe get a couple of sluggers.
Spend a little money.
Or every trade they made, they've won. They've won every trade they made.
Yeah.
And so that's I think those two teams will be at the top. It'll be interesting to see what kind of difference Cora makes with Boston.
Sure.
Because Boston, it wasn't that Boston. I mean, they got rid of Mookie Betts, which was a huge piece, but same thing with Tampa Bay, right? They got rid of superstars, guys that hit 40 home runs. They put guys on waivers who hit 30 home runs.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Yeah, because it didn't meet their plan.
Correct.
So
Correct. And so what they it was it wasn't it's the sum of the parts for a team like Tampa Bay. And so more teams are trying to do that because the superstars. You're counting on them to do so much, and so that would sound
right.
You're counting on them to do so much when they don't do it.
Then your team is dead because of one guy.
We had that with Wilson Ramos for 2 years. Wilson Ramos, we thought was going to be a slugging catcher. He was just a sluggish catcher for 2 years.
And then we traded him, and now.
And then look what happens. The interesting note, when you talk about Tampa Bay, we've talked about this internally a lot. There's this formula, right? Constant formula, and it works.
Yeah.
Now, but if everybody does the same thing, it obviously doesn't work.
It's the whole Moneyball thing, right?
And you look at the Royals. The Royals, who you think about their farm system and what they send out, which they don't keep.
Yep.
Right. So if they kept all of them, which they couldn't afford to keep them, but you think these new players, just this constant rotation. If they're happy with getting a win every so many years, well, then that works for the formula.
Right.
I just wish the fans would, back to before, but wish the fans would come out and appreciate that.
Yeah.
But there's something to be said for what they do and how they do it. Where then you talk about the Yankees, they're going to win. They're going to make the playoffs. So batting practice. I like that one. It's batting practice. But how does a team come out of that funk? Now think about how many years now that they dominated all these years. They spent the money,
and they just can't get past it.
They can't get past it in the postseason. Is it because is it laziness because of the whole season they can make it through knowing they're going to get there? And I'm not calling them lazy.
No, I know what you're saying, but there's something missing when they get to the playoffs, whether it's the pitching or they're just being able to combine both at the same time, or they're playing against teams that are hungry, that are fighting every game. Are
they not as hungry?
It's not that they're not as hungry. I think one of the things that people have to understand is that when you're playing in a short series and multiple games, that team knows you inside and out and dissects
everything.
Cheating or not cheating?
Cheating or
right.
not cheating.
Garbage cans or no garbage cans.
I can argue that.
Every little thing is dissected. And honestly, it was funny because we used to talk about this in spring training. So spring training, that last week of spring training, right? A lot of times they won't let that pitcher, the starting pitcher, pitch against that team because he's going to face him the first week of the season.
Right. Don't want him to see him.
Face him another 6 times.
Right.
So it's going to be different. So what I would always try and do is I would pitch normally how I wouldn't pitch to these guys.
Oh, right.
Try different things.
Throw them off.
And so then this way, when I see them the first time,
they're not sure what you're going to.
What I'm going to do. I might go out there and throw 5 straight changeups to a guy who I would never throw a changeup to.
Yeah.
And then when I face him, I throw him fastballs and he's late because he's sitting on a changeup. So those are the little game within a game that you can do and that teams should do more of, rather than going, you know what, for 5 innings, this guy is really good, but I can't let him face a third time in the lineup because he might get hit.
Right. Just
because all they talk about is batting average, right?
And then the cat's a change in the pitcher, right? So then you use that as your.
That's the new excuse. Now you got to have a guy in for a whole 3 batters.
Oh yeah, right.
So there's a million little things in the game where I think a team like the Yankees, and it's not even being hungry. The beauty of baseball is anyone can beat anyone on a game.
Oh yeah,
on a given night, and so that's what's been happening to them, right? They get to game 5, they get to game 7, they get there. It's not like they're getting swept in the playoffs. They get there, but all it takes is that super bullpen, which is what happened to Tampa Bay in the World Series.
Yeah,
that super bullpen got worn out.
Yeah,
worn out for 7 games. They couldn't do it anymore. They just they physically could not do it anymore. You're expecting 7 guys to be perfect every single time.
Right. No room for error.
There's no room for error because every time that they see them is another one. Who was it? Oh my God, what's the kid's name? That got thrown over his head by Chapman, then he hits the home run.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God, that was one of the best things I've ever seen. Because the guy almost takes 100 mile an hour to the head.
Right?
He hits a home run to knock them out of the playoffs. Against the same guy. The beauty of baseball is that. Take that snapshot and you hang that up in your locker if you're Chapman and you say,
never going to let that happen again.
That's what you got to do. So,
that's the worst.
There's a lot of snapshots because I'll tell
Do you really want that memory? Do you really want
again, talking about hungry, right? You got to have something to play for.
That's true.
So that's what kept your team from the World Series?
Yeah.
getting booed off,
Bulletin board material.
Getting booed off the mound. I mean, we laugh about it, but at the same time, that's something to your psyche, right?
It's an awful feeling because it's not just booed off the mound. It's booed on the way to your car.
Right. It's booed in the press.
It's booed it's booed at the stoplights. It's booed when you go eat breakfast the next morning.
New Yorkers are relentless.
It was funny. I remember. I can't remember who it was. One of the players said to me, he goes, "Man, New York's tough." I go, "Why?" He goes, "I went to eat at my local little spot in Manhattan." He's like, and guy, "Hey, what's up?" Oh, it was Jake. It was Jake, like in 2016 or something. He had a bad 2 games in a row.
Yeah.
Hey, Jake. He goes, "Hey, how you doing?" He goes, "How you doing?" "Yeah, you suck."
Right now, thank you.
You're not prepared for that.
Yeah.
That's the beauty of New York fans,
Right.
of baseball fans.
I
You know,
always say, welcome to New York.
that's exactly it, and it's something that you have to learn to have a very thick skin with,
Right.
and realize that the only thing that matters is inside that clubhouse what people think of you,
Right.
and at home what your family thinks of you.
Right, and so not feed in either way, because when you and I think kind of like what happened to Matt Harvey, where he fed it into all of the exaltation of how great he was.
Why do you think I'm worried about Trevor Bauer?
Yeah.
Have you seen Trevor Bauer interact on
No.
social media with fans?
Oh yeah, no, I know.
He gets into it with them.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
He gets into it with them. So that's just a few fans, Cleveland-wise,
Right.
and Cincinnati-wise. Now he comes to a big market like New York.
Yeah.
You don't think there's a whole group
Waiting.
I hate Trevor Bauer already
Made, right?
Just say one thing.
And the fake Twitter accounts.
But here's the problem with that, right? Because what happens with a guy like him is, yes, he's going to try and go back and forth. That's who he is, and it's an entertainment business.
Right.
I get that. But for me, it's, how has he ever done when he's second fiddle? When he's third fiddle? Because he comes here, and yes, he just won a Cy Young. He's not Jacob deGrom.
Right.
But if he doesn't get the Jacob deGrom attention,
right, it's not right.
It's not going to sit well with him.
He'll earn the attention and the respect.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Or he'll earn the attention and
in a negative way.
Right.
That's
We don't know.
something you have to wait.
We talked about this on one of your last appearances with us, with Randy Johnson. Great example. I mean, the poor guy. I mean, look at the size of him, and then you come to this market.
No matter what he does, he goes walking around, and everybody has something to say. You can't imagine what that was. Good, bad, and different. You could get in an elevator in a hotel and he doesn't know anybody. And like, oh, what do you play basketball?
Yeah.
Because you don't know who I am. I mean,
Well, sometimes that's a good thing. You'd rather not people know
really,
who you are.
there's 2 people on the planet that look like him.
Right.
Him and Rick Smits at the time. That was about it. But, no, I think that's one of the things is that these players are human, and we talk about them having social media. We talk about them being more personable, and the game wants that, and they want to mic guys
Right.
and everything else.
Right.
But at the same time, you're making yourself vulnerable.
Oh yeah.
You put that stuff
extremely
out there. Yeah.
To people who are sitting at home and are bitter, angry, have had too much to drink,
Right.
and they attack you.
Yeah.
And you want to defend yourself. And even though you don't have to, so I worry about also the new owner. Steve Cohen's going out there. And he's handpicking which ones to respond to.
Right.
But you don't think if they do poorly or they don't go out,
That it's getting right. He's going to be right.
He's going to keep trying to handpick them, and they're going to start calling him out for handpicking.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's something I always worry about, is because if you're exposing yourself too much, you're then creating this vulnerability that people are going to attack. And it's
like a weak spot, like they sense
Yeah,
that
but no
weak
matter what,
spot.
you don't win. Like you don't
No, you're
respond,
not
you don't
gonna
win. If
Right,
you respond,
right.
you don't
You don't
pick and
win.
choose. You don't.
Yeah.
No matter what, you don't.
You're not
win.
going to win no matter what. What
So-
you do? What do you do? Hey, here's 2 free tickets to the next game. Sorry, you had a bad time.
Yeah.
That's really what, and then you're going to have 300,000 people.
People come right.
I feel the worst for the guys in the outfield because they were like the closest to the
Oh,
fans.
the funniest I ever saw
Tony Jr.
was
Tony Gwynn Jr.
with the glove,
The
flopping the
glove.
glove behind his back. Was the funniest thing I've ever seen.
Frenchie used to have fun with it,
Oh.
and they all do. But it depends.
Yeah.
You have a bad outing. I mean, they're relentless,
Yeah.
and you're right there.
Usually, it's those people are the same ones almost every game.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah,
So
it's the
they're
same people.
ones. So if you play long enough and you've been there,
Right.
'cause one of the things that I did was I was the long reliever, so I would play catch with the outfielder all the time.
Yeah.
So when they couldn't get to him, they were all over me.
Yeah.
So I would turn around and I'm like, "You guys again?" So there was one lady, may she rest in peace. Her name was Tidbit. She was a little tiny lady with this big mouth, and she'd get all over you. So she'd ask you, "Hey, Figueroa, boxers or briefs. Finally, I had it because I wasn't answering it. And I walk up and I'm getting to the bullpen. I go, actually, I go commando on game days.
Oh yeah, yeah, exactly. There you go.
That's the fun part of the game, right?
Right.
These fans are more knowledgeable than ever before.
Oh,
They know
absolutely.
your stats. They know where you're from. They
Right.
know they have a whole Wikipedia.
Oh, we
pulled
have
up on
friends.
you. They have a whole
Joe
Wikipedia.
Cal and Joe Bruno. I mean, seriously, you think about what they
Yeah.
their knowledge. And sometimes you go, how the hell do you retain that?
Yeah,
And I go to
don't
the
know
game
how
like
to
you retain like your own team, but then you start talking about
other teams say,
it's impressive. I mean, you have to. I mean, for your job, you do it, but you're a fan of the game too. So at the same
Yeah.
time,
Yeah, it's fun interacting with the fans that are knowledgeable because they know what they're talking about. The guys that just yell, "You suck!" You suck.
right.
Yeah.
That's okay. I got one more question.
Those are
What
the
do you
fake Yankee
think
fans.
about keeping Rojas?
So I get into this argument with Jake Brown all the time, and on our podcast, Amazing But True, check it out. So on Amazing But True, we argue all the time because he hated Rojas. He hated Brody as well. He couldn't wait for Brody.
Well, all
But
right.
he hated Rojas as well, and I had to continually explain to him. He made 5 mistakes over the course of 162 games. You wouldn't bat an eyelash.
Right.
But because the 5 mistakes happened in
60 games.
and it felt like the 5 games happened in the first 30 games.
Of course.
And I said, look, it's a learning experience for any rookie, whether it's a coach, a player, a GM.
Whoever they are, right.
Which we saw with Brody. He got overzealous and started training away everybody.
Yep.
To go get guys like Keon Broxton. And
Yeah.
trying to find all these salvageable parts, Gomez and everybody else. Those things just didn't work. But he
Yeah.
tried, right? So you look at Rojas, quality control. Before that, he speaks the language of the player, and more than anything, he had the respect of the player.
Yeah, I
The
thought
players didn't cry
that
out,
was
this
a
guy doesn't know what he's doing.
right.
You've seen that with other teams.
Absolutely.
Where, hey, this game's moving too fast for him. There's been some mistakes made at management level. You never saw that with the Mets. And,
No.
and the Mets have never been a tight-lipped unit like the Yankees. Like the
Right.
Yankees PR is nothing. Here's your cliche.
Yeah.
Here's your cliche. So when Aaron Boone said, we're savages in the box, everybody went nuts. It was personality for the first time.
Right.
And normally, Yankee press conferences are very cliche. You can
Right.
get the cut and dry. Hey, that's baseball. You win some. You
So we lose
some.
some. All right.
But
We're gonna go
when-
out there tomorrow
When it
and
comes to the Mets, and the reporters are smart. They know how to do it. They know how
Right.
to push the button to get that little soundbite they're looking for because they've been doing it for so long. So that to me is where it's different. And Rojas, he did a really good job of keeping that clubhouse.
I thought he did too.
Never threw anybody under the bus. Never
Yeah.
said the middle of our. I remember Larry Boa did it to us in Philly. We were close to the playoffs, and he kept saying the middle of our lineup is killing us. Meanwhile, Pat Burrell hit 35 home runs. Bobby Abreu hit 31 home runs, and the only one that was struggling at the time was Scott Rowland. And he was struggling because he had a really bad back, but he kept playing.
Right,
He wouldn't
right.
come up. And so Rowland really was angry.
Upset
because
about that.
I know who you mean. Everybody knows who you mean. Everybody else
Right.
is having a great season.
Correct. Correct.
So why don't you just say my name
Right.
and get it over with?
Right.
That's something that you don't want to ever have happen because the manager is the one, and he had done that. He goes, it's my fault. When J.D. Davis had messed up and he went over and talked to him when they stole third base on him,
Uh-huh.
he went over and talked to him, right?
I remember that. Yep.
So those
Yep.
are the experiences you got to learn.
Yeah.
To make sure that they don't happen again. Rojas got talked to, I'm sure, by management. Hey,
Sure.
this, and this. You got to learn from that. He's managed before. He's managed baseball. You go 60 feet mound and 90-foot bases. Baseball doesn't change much.
Right.
But there are things that will happen. And so the more experiences you have at the
more
minor
you'll
league
learn.
level, the more baseball that you see, you're going to say, hey, I've
Yeah.
seen that before. That's happened before.
Yeah.
Rojas has done it for a long time at the minor league level, and he was around at the major league level for the last 2 years. So, yes, he made some mistakes. I'm not saying he didn't, but
Right.
you're going to have him for 1 year and then fire him?
Yeah.
Brian
That's not
Snitker, remember when Snitker took over for the Braves? He was an in-house guy. He was an in-house guy who for 30 years was a minor league coach, coordinator, everything, did everything.
in the Brave
in the Braves
system.
organization, right? So Brian Snitker's down there, and they had their choice. Remember, it's the Braves. One
Yeah,
job.
yeah.
Anybody would have wanted that job, and they stayed with him through the first year. He was the interim, and then they kept him because the players said, "This is the guy we like.
Yeah.
We know him. We're comfortable with him."
Right.
So that's important. Because
Yeah,
when
I
Mickey
think so,
Callaway
too.
came in after Terry left. What did I say? It was like his stepdad came in.
Yeah.
The mom went with the Cub. Got the younger, better looking guy.
Yeah.
You know?
None of us really knew how to feel about it. Right? It was just like one of those. Okay.
And that was a great unknown. Yes, he worked with the pitching staff, but remember, he
Right.
makes all the moves. The manager
Right.
makes the moves, not the pitching coach.
Right.
You say, "Oh, look what he did with the pitchers." Yes, the pitchers. That staff had 3 guys who finished in the top 10 of Cy Young. That doesn't seem like it's a hard job to do when those guys are so good.
Yeah.
What do you tell those guys? I had a pitching,
Right.
I had a pitching coach who he had Randy Johnson and Kurt Schilling. And it was his first pitching coach job in the big leagues. He literally called me. He goes, what do I tell
What do I tell them? Right.
What do I tell
Those guys know more than I do.
They're struggling a little bit. I walk out there and go, pitch better? So he goes, I go out there and I have to take their mind off of it because they know what they need to do.
Right.
He goes, but what am I going to teach
But
these
even
guys?
being aware of how to coach different levels of players makes a big difference too. So
Absolutely, because you have to realize that more so than anything about the major league level of pitchers is dealing with minor adjustments and focus.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's taking their focus off of trying
Right.
to focus too much. Like me trying to hit that
Right.
dark spot down the
Yeah.
lane,
Right. Exactly.
and I couldn't stay on it.
Yeah.
That's something that, again, for me, it's not necessarily staring at it. For me, it's picking it up.
Knowing it's there because
it's not going anywhere.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
The dark spot, the break point.
The break point.
It's the dark spot. Ray
Yeah.
told me the dark spot.
Yeah.
Well, no, it's right.
It is the break point. There are 4 break points down there. When you boil it up, if you go left or right of it, it goes off to the side. I'm learning. I'm not a finished product yet.
No, it's awesome.
Jimmy's got me right though. I'll be better in my next few games.
Have you tried to put the thumb in the ball at any time?
I don't have the wrist strength nowadays because technology is different. You can just kind of throw it. So I haven't tried it, but I used to do this because
Right.
I didn't have the wrist strength to hold it. My best bowling I did when I was in better shape, of course, spring training in Arizona. I bowled 26 straight games during Cosmic Bowl. I seriously averaged well over 200 at that night. And it was funny because the lady printing it out, and she goes, "Who else is bowling with you?" I'm like,
Oh, it was all me.
nobody. I was like, it was 3 hours of bowling for $10. So I just kept wheeling balls out there. I was by myself, rapid fire. And she looks at it, she's like, "Oh my God." She goes, "These are all your scores?" Yes, it was just me. So back then I was stronger and I could do a little bit more. So now I just got back into it this year. And it's a learning process.
See, look, you heard
45 and 25 are a lot different.
Oh, without a
26,
doubt.
I know. I don't want anybody to correct me.
You never know what's going to happen here on Lots of Raps. And so we were signing off, and then, of course, it
And
wouldn't
then,
be a show or a
yeah.
conversation.
One more question.
'cause we could
Yeah.
well, it's
Yeah.
always one more question.
Yeah. I'm just gonna
But
zip.
it's not your fault. I mean, we all have the gift of gab, but somebody likes to talk a lot.
He likes it, so
It's all good. So, hey, did you know
probably not.
we eclipsed over 320,000 views?
Get out of here.
Crazy. And now we're only once a week. Once a week.
Could you
We weren't
imagine?
even on last week.
Could you imagine if we were ever?
Everybody loves us. I don't know why, but they seem to love us. Hey,
Because we're sages, Frank.
so what you didn't know.
Everybody loves a sag.
Yeah, for those that have hung around this long, well, thanks for hanging around. We got to tease it and let our friends know that, hey, this conversation continued. And so, Figgie, thanks for being with us.
Thanks
today.
for coming.
My pleasure.
You're awesome.
Liked having you here. It was good.
We will look forward to having you back here at Rap. So he said
Yeah.
he made a promise. He said he'd be here. He surprised us, showed up, and so we got a new bowl. You watched the bowl. We talked
Ready to go.
baseball as well.
Everything. We talked about the tree. We got everything covered.
That's right.
Everything's covered here, right?
So again, the podcast,
Yeah, tell us about it.
amazing but true.
Amazing but
When?
true. So,
Remind us.
during the season, it was twice a week with Jake Brown. We had 32 episodes, including the welcoming of Steve Cohen. Last episode was phenomenal. We had a great time. We had the who's on a guest list. We had Piazza, we had David Wright, we had Terry Collins. We had, it was nonstop. I was able to make a call and say, hey, I want to have you guys on the podcast. Had guys on and some of the former players who, the obscure ones like Turk Wendell. See what he's doing. Steve Traxel.
I love
Steve
Turk
Traxel.
Wendell.
Talk to those guys and see what they've been up to and really get a feel of Mets baseball from the inside out. And so we had a nice run so far in the first year. Next year, hopefully, it will be even better. We'll be able to do better production.
It is a funny shit. You and Jake are pretty funny together.
Man. We have a good time with it because Jake is a rabid baseball fan. And when he first approached me about it, he goes, I want you to host a show. And I said, I don't want it to be a one-man show because I'm not a big fan of that because it's just me spouting off. I like to have the back and forth. And he comes over and he comes at it from a different angle. You know, sometimes he comes at it
Yeah,
from a super
you
fan
could tell
angle,
that it comes
and I've got to talk him off the ledge, which is always fun. So Jake is great, though. He's very knowledgeable. He's had a lot of experiences with the ups and downs of being a Met fan, and so I think that's what made the podcast work. And so we're excited for year 2. And we're all excited for
So
2021.
now you got to catch up. You got to watch. You got to listen.
Yeah, you got to go back, listen to those episodes
32,
wherever
he's got a
you
lot of work to
listen.
catch up to us. Yes.
Where
134.
yeah, he's 100. He's
was.
100 behind.
Running like.
But the podcasts are great. Wherever you listen to podcasts, so many places to listen to a podcast.
What's your favorite place to listen to on a podcast?
I listen to my podcast on my phone on the
Apple.
Apple.
Yeah, I do the same. I
Thing.
like the Apple.
The interface is kind of easy. I can find what I'm looking for.
I'm an Android guy, so I go Spotify.
I sometimes I have used Spotify.
I like Spotify.
Yeah, because that's also where my music is too. So kind of keep everything together. Everything's all together.
Nothing says all together more than that.
No, but this is the international symbol for all
The New
together.
York symbol for all together.
Yeah.
And along with this one.
Everybody knows what you just did, Frank. So it
It's
doesn't
fine.
matter.
It's okay. We've already dropped F-bombs on this show.
What are you gonna do?
All right. Well, Nelson, thanks for joining us today. We'll be back next Thursday at 12 noon. Special guests. Look out for it.
He's a funny guy.
Naz,
That was awesome.
we'll see everybody next week.
Thank you.
Stay healthy.